Hey, it's the Big E. Hey, we had a good weekend, so I'm the Big E, Eric Arnold, here in the Sports Barn. It's Monday evening, what is it? I never know what day it is. It's the 18th. Let me rephrase that. I know what day it is, I just don't know the date. It's the 18th of October. So we're going to give you our weekend recap video here. Hey, this is more for my benefit than yours. I mean, I don't really have any picks for you here tonight. I got one pick. For you in this video. Other than that, it's just me kind of taking a victory lap, frankly, which I think I've earned. We went 15-8 over the weekend in college football. That's 15-8. Our record to date, 56 wins, 43 losses. That's just over 56% winners in college football. Salute to me, you know. So, hey, you know what? If I've helped you out at all and you've hit a winner or two that I put you on to, hey, put something in the comments or say something like that. Hey, thanks, Big E. You know, that would be okay. We could do that. You know, we're still trying to pump up the viewership here a little bit. You know, in other words, I make these videos to basically try to keep me on track and keep me honest with my handicapping, so there's a legitimate record of what my record is. In other words, I have the receipts. This is my winning percentage. Here, you can go back and check the tapes, if you will. So I do that somewhat for my own benefit, but it would help me to make these videos more often if we had more than 6 or 10 viewers. Just saying. So at any rate, so hey, let's take a victory lap here. Here's what we did last weekend. Sure started bad. I mean, Friday night I was kind of sad. Went to bed Friday night going, man, I'm gonna have to go out there next time I make a video and look like a doofus that doesn't know anything. We lost our first 4 games this weekend, and none of them were really particularly close. It was just loss. You know, the game I thought, one of the best games I thought that was out there was Georgia Southern, because they've just had it over South Alabama. I don't know. I mean, you know, that's the thing about betting these games. There's no way in the world you can know everything about 130 some Division I college football teams. So, unbeknownst to me, apparently in the South Alabama locker room, they just said, we're going to get those SOBs tonight. I don't care what we got to do. We're getting those guys tonight. And it wasn't even close. South Alabama totally crushed them. But there was a lot, I mean, you know, okay, so let's look at what's significant there. Clemson, what is wrong with this team? I have a hunch, and I'm going to keep it to myself because I haven't researched the hunch. I'm not going to say it out loud, but I have a hunch what's going on down there. It's pretty, you know, it's not a kind take to Clemson, but they're not good. You know, this team is not you know, certainly betting wise, you're still paying an elite premium for this team, and they're just average. You know, they're just, you know, all right, they're above average. They're good, but where would you put these guys in the top 20? Would you put them even in the top 20? Driveway. Someone's here. Let's see, what else? So then Saturday comes, and now we start picking it up. You know, we had Oklahoma State. I thought about this. Did anyone watch that game? Because I flipped it on. I only saw a few minutes of it, just a very few minutes of it near the end. And I thought, I guess they're Big 12 officials officiating a Big 12 game, you know, despite the fact that Texas is now basically an SEC team. So I kind of thought, I don't know if Texas is going to get a lot of calls here. I wonder what happened there. You know, if there were a lot of questionable calls in favor of Oklahoma State. Well, whatever. They won the game. Good for them. Wouldn't that be great to see like an Oklahoma State in the playoff? a team like that that's kind of always been on the fringes but has never gotten through, they got a chance. A&M keeps rolling. Michigan State squeaked by. Still in the top 10. Sparty, still in the top 10. That's hard to believe. But now they're going to play, Ohio State, Michigan, and Penn State. So we'll see Sparty. We'll see. I honestly don't believe you got a chance, but you never know. Auburn, they're better, I think, than people think. Florida, what happened there? We lost that game. That one won, we were way off there. I guess what happened there was circle the wagons for Ed Orgeron, who's out down there at LSU. I don't know. I don't know enough about LSU politics to comment, I guess. I mean, I hear some of the stuff on Barstool, and they're pretty clued in, I guess, to the SEC. And I guess they all think Orgeron's a moron. I know this. The dude's got a championship. The dude's against the spread record is much better than average. Because, again, you're against the spread. You're basically competing against what the public's expectations of you are, not necessarily the other team. So I think that Orgeron's lines are always somewhat depressed because everyone thinks he's a moron. Well, okay, whatever. Maybe, I don't know if he is or not as far as a game day coach goes, but I know this guy's got a ton of talent. So, maybe you've always been catching some value there with an Orgeron coach team. But now he's out at LSU and took us with him Saturday by beating our Florida. Cincinnati, I guess I got to start respecting Cincinnati. We had them, although I was very doubtful about that game. Kenny Pickett keeps going. He's been at Pittsburgh for 17 years now? I remember him beating Miami, I think when it was like his first game. He was a freshman, and Miami was highly ranked, and it put Ohio State into the playoff picture. It might have been 2015. Maybe. I'm not 100% sure. If my math, that doesn't seem right, does it? But Pickett's been there forever. Pitt wins again. Then we had a bunch of off-the-map games here that nobody cares about. How about that Tennessee game? We lost that. That was exciting. If you saw any of that game. My thought was at the end of that game, they had run so many plays and everybody was so exhausted. And, it's a very close, intense game. And after every play, somebody's hurt. Either hurt, exhausted, hurt, cramp, hurt. It looked like the final scene of Rollerball. The game took forever. They're throwing stuff on the field, golf balls, whole bottles of mustard. Although I'd be shocked if there was actually mustard in there. I mean, when I went to school, there would have been alcohol in there. Wouldn't have been mustard in there. But then again, it's just a container, In other words, if they find it, they're taking it no matter what. I can't imagine that you go through security with a full bottle of mustard and they say, oh, you have a full bottle of mustard. Well, that's okay. Go ahead in. They have mustard inside, you don't bring your own in. So it's the container itself. That's what you need. And there's booze in there. There's not mustard in there. So I don't know. There might have been booze in when you threw it because then you'd get more lift on your throw and it would go further. If it was empty, I don't know how far that would go. I probably wouldn't go that far at all. An empty plastic bottle, poof. So that probably was something in it when it was thrown. At any rate, I'm not going to jump on oh my God, they threw things at Tennessee. How terrible. Who cares? I mean, it's always, God, I can think of an example all the way back to the 1934 World Series. They threw things on the field at Joe Medwick in Detroit as St. Louis was going on to win the World Series. It's happened damn near, I would imagine, as long as there's been organized sports, people have thrown things on the field. They always have and they always will, and you're never going to stop it. So you just deal with it. I don't think the accepted countermeasures are wrong or inefficient or not enough. You catch somebody throwing something, you grab them, you take their season tickets, that sort of thing. Uh, I think that works about as well as anything could be expected. Of course, I'm sure there's some sports writers out there that would just as soon we played in front of no fans at all. So, but I'm not in that camp. And then I'll tell you what, I watched the end of that Utah Arizona State game, and it warmed my heart to watch the weather angle just crush Arizona State. They had like a 21-7 lead at halftime out there at Utah, and then it got dark, and it got cold, and it was a little bit windy too. And you could just see Arizona State just starting to fold in on themselves, and Utah getting stronger. Seemed every time the degree dropped on the thermometer, Utah would just get stronger. And Arizona State, they dropped a key first down there to keep a drive going. Why'd they drop it? Because it's cold. Because these kids have never played in the cold before. And boy, that was just a beautiful thing. That's one of my favorites, is playing against warm weather teams in the cold. I love that angle. I think it works. I've had success with it in the past. We always look for that. It's October. It's soon going to be November. Look for that. We're going to be looking for that. Absolutely. Absolutely. So 15-8. Nice, nice, nice. That's what we like here in the Sports Barn. All right, let's get to what we got here. Wednesday, another Sun Belt game. We're getting into the magical time of year called Sun Belt and Maction. I don't know what the Sun Belt, what code or catchphrase they have for their Tuesday, Thursday, Wednesday action, but Maction should be right around the corner, and we all love that. So college football all throughout the week, which is what we like. Honestly, right now, I'm more into college football than I am the National Football League. Much more. I just am. The games, I don't know. To me, they're more exciting. I think you get a better honest effort out of the players than in the pros. It's a job for the pros. The college kids are playing because they want to play, because they're not getting paid to play. Well, okay, some of them are, but honestly, really, some of them now are, basically. But hey, they earned it. So we're really excited to hear about the rest of this college football slate, especially now that we're kind of enthused that the model's working. We're hitting 56%. Yeah. What else do I have here for you? I lost my train of thought. We were going to talk about this Coastal Carolina Appy State game. Yeah, I guess that's it. The World Series, we're not there yet. Honestly, I don't know. There's a lot of value out there. I think probably the value is now with the Atlanta Braves, even though they're up 2-0. Nobody thinks the Dodgers are going to lose. And I don't know how you get value with the Dodgers, because they're just huge favorites over everybody. So, and they're not winning every game. They're making these series close. Basically, in that Giants series, I didn't do the math, but I'm thinking if you just bet the Giants every game, you probably made money, even though the Giants lost the series. Braves, probably the same way. If you just, I can't wait to see the number on the Tuesday night game. It's probably out now. I forgot to look at it. But I would imagine the Giants are prohibitive favorite, or the Dodgers are prohibitive favorites over the Braves. I don't know, man. The Braves are up 2-0. So, all right. Lastly, Wednesday, Sun Belt, Coastal Carolina, and I don't have a slide for this. Maybe I'll make one fast just so you can see it. I'll probably just throw it. Yeah, I'll make you a slide there. Poof! There's a slide. And we're going to take Coastal over Appy State. So you're thinking, well, but Appy's at home and they're getting points. And you know, they're coming off a bad loss, so they're going to bounce off of that, and they're going to be, you know, a home underdog, ready to prove everybody wrong. I don't buy that in college. I don't think that works. I mean, I think what works is Coastal's just a hell of a lot better than Appy State. I mean, did you see any of that Lafayette-Appy State game? I saw some of that. Appy wasn't good at all. Their biggest problem is what they used to be able to do was run the ball. That was their identity. They could just grind you up, just pound it down your throat. They can't do that now. For whatever reason, that team can't run the ball anymore. They're just average. And that was their identity. I don't know if they got 100 yards rushing on Lafayette. That's unheard of for Appy State. So this is not your older brother's Appy State. This is a new thing here. And it's to be expected when you think about it, if you know anything about Appy State. This is like their third coach in 3 years. They had Satterfield, who had all that success there. And then he finally left and went to Louisville. Then they put this guy Drinkwitz in there. And I can't remember. I think all these guys have been like part of the Appy program, if you will. Like Drinkwitz might have been the coordinator. So he was there for a year. Then he went to Missouri. And now you got this guy, I think his name's Clark. Three different guys. That's got to take a toll at some point. That's just dysfunction. That's chaos. That's not order. We like order in college football. So, and then Coastal, they're just, you know, this is a historic run for these guys right now. This is their historic season. They're going to probably go undefeated. They lost one time last year, and you know, hopefully they catch a good bowl game against a top 5 or a Power 5 team. And, you know, this is Coastal. If they can recruit, you know, if they can build that fan base a little bit, build a little bit more momentum, this could be, you know, where they take a bump up and possibly, you know, be considered to maybe break into the ACC. You know, think about that. Sometimes these smaller schools, they're small until, you know, they're not, and they break through into a power conference. So this is a huge, 2 teams in different directions right now, and laying only 4 points. We checked the weather. I told you we're looking at the weather, and Coastal, the word says it, Coastal, warm. We don't like cold. Mountaineers, App State, Mountaineers, cold. The weather should be pretty good, I think. You know, it should be, I'm going to say, low 60s, upper 50s, clear, no wind. It should be fine. You know, Coastal should do just fine, and that ain't that cold. So I think everything lines up that Coastal's just going to run these guys right over, crunch, just like Lafayette did. And we're only laying 4. Coastal is the pick. There you have it. Very good. I think I'll do a Politics Barn video. So you better get the Sports Barn video now. As soon as it goes on your little phone, boop, you better look at it before, you know, because if I say the wrong thing in the Politics Barn video, whoop, the whole thing gets shut down for a week. No more picks. No more picks. YouTube takes them away because I'm bad. I'm dangerous. So just remember that. Good, great. Hey, hit the like button. 15-8. Hit the like button, for Christ's sakes. 56% winners. Just saying. All right, good, great. We'll see you again.